Mothers of War,
The
What If Show. What If Show, hosted by Darius Davis, where real issues meet real people, where culture meets politics. From community leaders to athletes, activists to everyday voices. If it matters to people, it matters here.
Where
So
the
ask
truth,
yourself,
you
what if we
know,
actually
ain't the
listen?
only
What if we
truth that
listen? What if change
exists.
started with a conversation?
Every street got a story, every block got a legend, every city got a what if, every rumor got a message. We take the myth, the whispers in the night, flip the script, shine a light, turn the shadows into sight. What if studio?
All right, today I got my guy Deon the motivator for all my What If Show audience. So I want everybody, if you're just not clicking on this particular interview, please like and subscribe to the What If Show. Right now, we got my guy Deon the motivator, and I'm gonna kind of let him introduce himself for people who may just not be hearing your name for the first time. Who is Deon the motivator?
Man, first of all, appreciate you for having me on, bro. I really do, bro.
Man,
But
glad
bro,
to have you.
I'm Deon the motivator. I'm Deon Hardiman for most people that know me, but for the people that don't, for social media, I go by Deon the motivator, which is like my alias. That's what I do business as, Deon the motivator. But man, I'm just a husband, a father, um, business owner, entrepreneur, grinder, man. I'm still in corporate America, so I still, I work in corporate America. I manage a building here in Dallas. So, um, yeah, man, I'm just an all around, just a hustler, go getter, man. I'm originally from Abbeville, Alabama. Moved to Dallas about 20 years ago. So I've been out here in Dallas for about 20 years, man. Came out here for college, found my wife, started having kids, got married, and man, we just been living our dreams ever since, bro. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, man.
Awesome, 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 man. I just want to talk a little bit about how I kind of know him, man. Me and him from the same hometown.
Yes, sir.
And man, I just remember this guy always having some fly shoes, man. He was always fly, always wearing the latest clothes, man. And he was a quiet dude, man. Didn't really say a lot, but he was always fly. So I came across him, man, and I wanted to talk with him, and he's doing some remarkable things.
Appreciate that, bro.
So I do want to ask you, man, how did your journey start, man? Being the motivator or getting into the podcasting realm? How did it get started?
Yeah, bro. So I say maybe about 10 years ago, I started to like get on this entrepreneur journey because I was working. Like I said, I've been in corporate America man, since I was like 26. I've been a manager. And since I got into management, I was like, man, like people really listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a leader for real, like in my house, at work, and it just started to bleed over. And I'm like, man, if people listen to me like this on the job, and what I'm telling them is, they like, man, Dion, you make me want to quit and go do something else. Like I really don't want to be. So I noticed, like, oh man, I got the ability to kind of motivate people to like do better because for me, bro, we come from Abbeville, Alabama, and I love my hometown, but I just wanted to like move out and do something different, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
had to really like talk to myself and encourage myself along the journey, along with my family too, but like I just had the courage to just do something different, bro. And through that journey, I just encourage other people, man, to do things differently. Like my brain think big, you know what I mean? Like I think outside the box. I try to like take a thought and like add to it and add to it. And through that, man, I got on this journey of like content creation and like knowing like, okay, it's shifted from like when TikTok first started and Instagram first started, where you can go online and make a video and people click on it and you kind of get some views, but the conversation started to shift to where people want more long form conversation because those little sound bites, people's stories, and I started to notice like they take sound bites and clip it up, but people want to hear the full story. So for me, uh, I wanted to get into the podcast game. I started out with I was on a podcast called the Dad's Podcast with two other guys, probably about 6 years ago, and it was cool, but it didn't just work out like we thought it was because one guy couldn't just speak his mind because of his job, and our schedules kind of conflict, so I kind of put it down. But my friend Mozzie, shout out to King Mozzie, man, he was on YouTube like blowing up, and he came to my house one day and we talked, and he was like, "Man, you should do this podcast." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm like done with the podcasting, right?" But for 2 years, well, about a year, he kept asking me. And that one last time he was like, "Bro, let's go to dinner." He brought a cameraman, and he just laid out the plan, and he was like, "Bro, let's just start this, but I need you." And man, we locked in. It's been 4 years now. We started out with just our podcast in my garage on a cell phone, and we went from that to we built out a team to where we got in the studio, and from there we started a whole production company to where now we have like 5 other podcasts that we produce under our channel, and then we have a business that we run to where we also help people start podcasts, because we notice it's like everybody got a voice, everybody got a story, but how do you put your story out there? How do you put your voice out there, right? Even for the entrepreneurs, like a podcast is a great way to promote your business, because once a week you can have a structured conversation with like-minded individuals that's listening to you that want what you have to offer. So podcast was the way that, we kind of built our business out to structure for people that want to start a podcast too. So that's kind of like, I know it's kind of, I'm long-winded, bro, but that's how we got started though.
Man, that's what's up, man. That's what I like to hear, man. So I do want to ask you this, man. I remember you, like I said, pretty much leaving Abbeville, going to, I think you went to Texas, right?
Yeah, Dallas.
Okay. So, what does anything, man? I know a lot of people are working full-time jobs, and I know you was probably working, but was there something that kind of, you know, a lot of people are in doubt of leaving their jobs and going into this. Now, did you just leave your job and go into this, or did you have
Man,
faith in yourself and just?
man, I didn't. So it started out when I was 29. When I was 26, I got promoted to like a supervisor of a warehouse, and by 29, I had worked my way up to like third in the company at that plant. So I was like the plant superintendent. It was only 2 people above me. I was the first black person to do it at that company. It had been in business since for like 75 years at the time. And I got that entrepreneurial bug where it's like, man, I know I want to do something different. You know what I mean? And I talked to my wife, and we agreed to like quit your job and just go full time. That at the time it was with t-shirts, because I had a t-shirt company. And I did it, man. No real savings saved up, just with my 401k money, and I just jumped out on faith, man. And since then, I'm 41 now. So since I've been 29, I've been working in corporate America, quitting those jobs to follow my entrepreneur journey, working in corporate America, quitting my job to follow my entrepreneur journey. So through those last 10 years, I wasn't just full-time entrepreneur for the full 10 years. It's like I worked for 3 or 4 years, then I started on my entrepreneur journey for 3 years, and then I worked. But for me, it's like I'm gonna bet on me every time, man. Like I know, like, and it's another thing too, because I gotta preference this. Like I got a college degree, so I got a college degree in sociology. I'm a certified family mediator, and I got leadership training certificates and experience. So it's easy for me to just like find a job, and I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but I know what I bring to the table, and for the last 10 years. It's like if I'm working as an entrepreneur and I want to go get a job, I just apply, and do my due diligence, and it becomes pretty easy for me to get a job because of my background and my experience. I got a clean record, college degree, you know what I mean, and I got leadership experience. So I always betted on myself, right? So for me, I say I bet on myself every single time, whether I got money saved up in the bank, whether I don't. Like if I got something in my mind that I know I can do, and I know it's gonna take my full divided attention, it's gonna take full time for me to do it, I just go do it, man. As long as I discuss it with my wife, she cool with it, I'm good, man. I'm gonna jump out every single time. But as now at 41, I'm back to working in corporate America, right? Because I got a job offer that I'm like, I can't refuse that. This is a great opportunity, you know what I mean? So I'll go back to work, but that doesn't mean I'm not an entrepreneur either. That's why I try to tell people, like, you can work a job and still be an entrepreneur. You can be a business owner and still work a job. You just use your job as leverage to invest into your companies, and as your company grow, you grow, and then it'll get to a point to where you can look over and say, okay, now I got enough money saved up, or I got enough experience in working in my own business. I want to step out on faith.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Now, I know you say you went to college. For a lot of people who was trying to get into this podcasting and things of that nature, man. Did you take some classes on journalism, broadcasting? So
Nah, man.
how did you learn this craft, man? Did you have a mentor, or how did you
Man,
get
it's
it? You just experiment, or what?
this trial and error, man. Like I said, me and my guy Mozzie, man, we just grinded it out, man. Like literally in my garage, not knowing what we were gonna talk about. We just knew like, listen, bro, we know we want to start this podcast business. We know like the I'm gonna be honest, the business side of it is money in it. Um, and we just gonna learn and we just gonna go with it. And that's what we did, man. We just started and we didn't know nothing. We didn't know about a camera, a switcher, the lights that you use, all the fancy equipment. All we knew is like you could pick up your phone, you can record a video, you can upload it on YouTube, and you can take the audio, put it on Spotify, Apple Music, and now you got a podcast. So that's all we knew. But through that, just doing it for the last almost 5 years now, man, we just learned so much because we started out hands on, just us doing every single thing, every part of it. Like we would go to a studio, and at the studio at the time, which it was a blessing. The guy who owned the studio, we would have to set up our whole setup. Like, I hook y'all cords up, hook your cameras up, do this, put your lights right here, do this, move that. And through that journey, it taught us like, oh, you need this type of equipment. Oh, this how you get your sound right. This how. So we learned how to do podcasting from the production standpoint to the visual standpoint to even the structure of your show from doing it ourselves. And then we learned the business aspect of it on the back end.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. That is amazing, man. Not many people are willing to step out there on faith. Not many people are willing to try something else, especially when they got a corporate job like you had.
For sure.
Making that money, man, and a lot of different things. So I want to ask you this question, man. A lot of podcasts are rising up. What makes some of these podcasts so powerful right now? Do you know what is got these things growing so fast, and what is making them so powerful?
Man, they spending that money. I'll
Okay.
tell anybody, man, if you want your podcast to grow, you got to do what the big people doing. You know what I mean? Like, and you got to start small, but think big. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And that's my motto. Like, yeah, we can start small, but we got to think like we already there. So when we were in my garage filming on the phone, we were studying like what Wallow and Gilly doing that we not doing.
Mm.
And we started to know, oh, they spending money. They got better cameras. So let's get some better cameras. Oh, they got better mics. So I think you got to do what the people that's getting the money doing, and then you got to spend the money on. You got to invest back into your craft, man. It's just like anything, if you want it to grow, you got to put money in it. If you want to look like the big guys, you got to do what they doing, and they spending that money, and that's the thing. Like you really got to pay your way to the top, and I don't mean like paying somebody, but you got to pay to upgrade, always investing in yourself. Going to these seminars, so where it's different people talking about how do you build your podcast, networking with the right people, Facebook ads, posting consistently, like just doing all the things that's necessary to grow. Like for us, for example, right? YouTube, we only at like 10K, almost 11K subscribers. And for me, I used to always think like, man, you need like hundreds of thousands, millions of followers to make money and to blow up in this thing, but you don't, man. You need loyal followings, and with a loyal following, you can build, right? So what I say, and this is just what we do, right? So if we got 1,000 people that's watching us consistently, we'll take out of those 10,000 because we go by the 10% rule. If you got 10,000 subscribers, 10% of them gonna watch you, 10% of them gonna like follow your next step, and 10% of them gonna buy something at the end. So when you get down from 10,000, you take 10% of that, that's 1,000. Take 10% of that, that's 100. You take 10% of that, that's 10. When you get down to that last 10, those are your core people that's gonna buy from you, that's gonna say when you say move when you go, wherever you say go. So for us, it's like it's power in 10. And if you can have a product at the end of that for them to buy, for them to click on, whether it's a $10 product, $100 product, or $1,000 product. That's how you make your money in podcasting to reinvest. It's like a lot of times we just getting on here and we talking and we get burnt out because it's like, man, ain't no money in this, right? You spending all the money, you got to pay for the apps, you got to pay for all the equipment, but it's like, man, but if you give the people something to buy, they will buy. And for me, it ain't about blowing up and being the world's biggest podcast. It's about staying consistent in what we do and giving the people something to buy. And that's what we do. We give them something to buy. We sell the look, we sell the sound. Like you said, when you saw me back in when I was in high school, I used to be fly. Like I keep that same energy right now. It's like I'm always want to look because we selling the look, like we selling the lifestyle, and people will pay for that. Like people pay us to answer their problems to how to get into this podcast game, and that's what you have to attach to your podcast. Is like, what problem do I solve by people watching my podcast, and will they pay for it?
Awesome, man. That is awesome information, man. And I know you start talking about money, man. You start talking about what people pay for it. So if a person wants to get into this podcasting, man, what initial amount do they need? Because I know you said at first, you know, you need a cell phone.
$0. All they need is a cell phone, some
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
That's how we started. Cell phone, Wi-Fi. The natural sunlight is your best friend. If you don't have a light, do it in the daytime in front of a window with that natural sunlight coming in and a quiet background. These iPhones are so powerful now, man. That like we done filmed plenty of episodes with like just even now, like we'll film certain parts with a camera, certain parts with a phone, and you probably wouldn't even know the difference. But it don't take nothing, man. YouTube lets you upload videos for free. Um, Google Podcasts lets you upload podcasts. So if you say, hey, my camera not good, but you can talk on your phone and record it, take the audio and put that and just download the audio to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts for free. So to get in the podcast game today, man, is literally it don't cost you nothing but your time. And from there you can build and add on to it. You can say, okay, I'm working off my phone now, but I'm saving up for a camera. When I get that camera, then I'm saving up and I'm a body, and you just piece it all together, piece by piece, man, and just staying consistent in it over and over. But the way to not get burnt out is, and I keep going back to this, is attaching the product to your podcast. So like for me, like right now we talking, I'm selling something without selling it. I'm selling this hat because this is my brand. It's Think
Okay.
Big. So
Okay.
it just may look, I got a normal, but this is my brand hat. I'm selling because it's in the back. So now when people go to my page afterwards, they may click, oh, I want that hat you got on. Now I done made some money just by coming on here saying that I'm offering a hat for sale. You know what I mean? So
That's what's
I
up.
think always thinking like that too, like always having an offer, having something that you can sell on the back end. Because if not, man, we can be passionate about getting on these podcasts and speaking, but at the end of the day, if we don't make no money from it, it's gonna burn us out. You know what I'm saying? And when we making money, that's like it's motivating us more and more and more. So it's like even if I make $10 from YouTube, it's like I remember when we made our first $100. It's like, man, we got to keep going. Like we done made $100 in a month. So it's like once you start seeing that money, it's just like, all right, let's stay consistent. Let's stay because Facebook pay, Instagram pay, TikTok pay, YouTube, all these platforms pay, but they only pay when you consistently putting out the good product.
Man, that's what's up, man. That is amazing, man. And I do want to ask you, man. I know this is the What If show, but I do want to ask you a what if, man.
Yes, sir.
Think about this, man. Had we been at Abbeville High School, man, and had we been learning from somebody like you, somebody teaching us about podcasts and da da da. Now, how far along would you have been had you learned this type of thing in high school?
Man, I'll probably be, man, living in Dubai, South Africa somewhere, man. Like
Yeah.
I'll be out of here, man, because it's like I used to always think like, dang, man, what if I would have took this serious 10 years ago? Like when I first heard the word podcast, like what if I would have really jumped in and got a whole, but think about now if like somebody would have taught me that game from like a teenager to now, man, I'll be on a whole nother level, man. I'll be on a whole nother level. But I say this, nobody taught me that, right? But now I
Yeah.
know. And with the information I have now, I just got to move forward and use that information because we can hear people say, man, if I can go back 20 years, I would do this differently. I would do that differently. But it's like we can't, but we here now. So now that we here and we know that information, let's apply it to the next 20 years and see how far that get us, man. So that's how my mind be working. Like, dang, man, because it's a lot of stuff that I'm like, man, I wish I would have knew that then. But it's like, nah, I know it now. So now that I know it, let me apply it to my life now. Yeah.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely, man. Um, I do want to ask you, man. You got your podcast, "Can I Be Real" podcast. How did you come up with that term, and when did you come up with that name? "Can I Be Real" podcast.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, it was me and like I gotta go back, give credit to my partner Mozzie, man. It was both of us just like brainstorming of like he called himself King Mozzie at the time. I call him Mozzie Millions. That's what he calls himself, Mozzie Millions. I'm Deon the Motivator, and it's like we black, right? And we black men. But we from the hood, we lived in some hood spots, but we ain't just no hood dudes, right? But I get along with everybody, like even from I hung out with everybody from whoever, you know what I mean? And that was always because I'm just kept it real with myself. I'm not gonna come around you and try to be something I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I can be around the drug dealers and they know I don't sell no drugs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm cool with them. I can be around the smart kids at school. I'm just as smart as them. I fit in with everybody. So he was the same way. So we was like, man, we always being real, but it's like, can I be real though? Like, because when you start to really be real, do people really accept you for who you are? So we was like, man, how can we have conversations and have real conversations, authentic conversations? And we was like, man, we got to have a real show. And it was like, can I be real? And it just went from there, man. It was like a catchphrase, and it was just, can I be real? Can I be real? So, and it's like now when people come on our show, they like ask them a question. They like, can I be real? I'm like, hey, that's what we're here for. And they get the going, and it's like that's like it opened up a door, man. Because if I ask you, bro, be real with me now,
Yeah.
tell me X, Y, and Z, you gonna be like, you know what, bro? This is what it is. I gotta keep it. Because once somebody tell you to be real, like if you be fake after that, then something's just wrong with you. But once somebody give you that invitation to just be real with them, it opens the door for a whole nother level of conversation, man. So yeah, that's how we came up with Can I Be Real though?
Man, that's what's up, man. The next question I asked, man, I want you to be real with me on this one, man.
Yes, sir.
This Charleston White interview, man. Uh, just kind of go about how you kind of got into the Charleston White interview, and does every podcaster need a Charleston White interview to make it big, or should I say, do you need that interview to kind of get you over the hump?
Gotcha. So first, let me answer the question of how did that interview came about, right? So we were 17 episodes in. We had went from my garage to now we at a studio, and we spending money to rent the studio out. And we like, man, we need to like get this money back because it's like we spending every week. But how can we get it back? At first, we thought we need more views. So we was like, how can we get more views? And we was like, man, we should start thinking about people who we want to get. And Mozzie was like, man, let's get Charleston White. And I'm like, bro, how we gonna get Charleston White? My cousin, well, my wife's cousin, he used to help us out. He was like, look, I know somebody who know his manager. I'm gonna just see if we can get on the phone with her. He just asked. They got him on the phone. He called Charleston. Charleston got on the phone with us. He told us what his price was, when he can do it, and we came to an agreement, and we did it, man. And it was life changing for us. And I'm gonna be real. This answer the second part of that question: do you need a Charleston White interview? I'm not saying you need an interview from a big time person to make your channel grow, but what I will say is we went from 100 views averaging to when that video dropped It did 375K in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, we dropped the part two. It did another like 48K. We dropped pieces of it. It started doing 100K, 200K. Like, so we dropped the same video a year later and it got another 380K views. So
Wow.
what I'm saying is those type of interviews, it just puts you to the top of the line, which goes back to what I said earlier. You got to pay to play.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game, man. I hate that it's like that, but you can either take the road of I pay my way to the top, or you can take the slow road of I grind my way to the top. But both of them is a long road because you just can't pay to get. You can pay. We done paid and got burnt. You know what I mean? It's just Charleston. He was a good dude. Charleston is a real life like good dude, man, and he gave us the game. So if we wouldn't have paid, we got more than just the interview. We got the interview from him. And then he gave us like the YouTube podcasting game, and we took that game and we just watch, rinse, and repeat, and we do it over and over. And since then, we never paid for another interview. Charleston White is the only interview we ever paid for. Everybody else has been coming on our show to where now we got people paying us to come on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, that's amazing, man. I do want to ask you this question. Say, for instance, man, you had your Charleston White interview and it didn't hit, and you had invested in the Charleston White. What would have been the move after that? What would you have decided to do had that interview not took off?
Man, I never thought about that. Wow. I don't know, man, because we just, man, it's hard to even think. Every interview we do, we think it's gonna do better than the last one.
Okay.
It's just because our expectations, right? And
Mhm.
it ain't even about the views on some of these interviews. It's about the conversation. It's about the impact, man. And for us, I'm gonna be honest. At the time, I knew Charleston White was big, but I didn't know how big he was because I just wasn't tapped into him like that, right?
Mhm.
But I knew he was big. So I just thought like, all right, we're gonna have a great conversation. It's gonna do good on Instagram. And like that was it. I didn't think we were gonna make no money from it. Our goal from Charleston White interview was to get monetized on YouTube. Like I said, he was our 17th interview. So it was like, if we can get monetized, we'll be good. And that's what it did, man. That video, when we first dropped it, we went from like 750 subscribers to like 4,000 in a month.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like crazy growth. But I don't know, man. If it wouldn't have hit, we would have just went back to the drawing board like we always do. You know, when something don't hit, we just go back to the drawing board. You know, every time. Like if it don't do what we think it's gonna do, we just keep, because we're not just stuck on one video. It's like, what's next? What's
Yeah.
next? What's
Yeah.
next? We always like right now we got 8 videos that's just sitting on ice ready to be dropped because we already planning for the summer and the fall. Like our whole
Wow.
spring, well, what's this? Was from March to like June is already planned out. So we already working in August. So that's the game we learned, like always stay ahead. Because if you working on right now, you behind. You
Mm.
gotta be working on next month and beyond to stay ahead. So yeah, man, we always thinking like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? Yeah.
Man, that's amazing, man. I do want to ask you this question, man. So, what is the key thing to trying to build trust up over time with your audience? I know how, like I said, you start out and you're trying to gain an audience, and
Mhm.
you don't really know who your audience is going to be. It's kind of a guess. And how do you gain that trust with your audience?
I think first, for me, right, this is what I tell like even my clients is like, before you even turn the camera on, right? Like you need to know like who are you talking to, right? And we call it's like a thing they call from one to many. So you can speak to one person, but it's a lot of people out there like that one person. So I tell people like build that avatar. So for us, our shows cannot be real. We knew that we were going to talk to men and women between the ages of 25 and 55 that, come from, not suburban areas, but come from like inner city. For Mozzie's side, the country life from my side, merge them together and have those real barbershop conversations that feel like you part of it. So every conversation we talking to that person. So I'm talking to myself. And I think that's how you craft your podcast. Like whatever subject matter you want to talk about, like stick to that and talk to that audience. And they'll eventually come because if two people listening, then those two people gonna tell somebody that's just like them. Then they'll start listening. And those people, because for me, it's like ET always say, go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. Like I'm not gonna go in the room of people that don't want to be motivated and try to motivate them. I'm going in the room with people saying, I'm tired of living like this. I want something different. I don't know how to get there. I see where you are and I see where you came from. Help me do that too. Them the people that I deal with. So for me, it's like once you build that perfect avatar of like this the person I'm talking to, strictly
Second, I think he'll be back. All right, Deon the Motivator be back in just 1 second. I'm gonna let him finish that the lineup in 1 second. So I do want to talk to you guys. Deon the Motivator, a powerful guy. He had a specific interview, and he's been really successful at podcasting. He will be back just real quick, like, and if you get a chance, go check his brand out. Think Big, and Can I Be Real podcast. If you get a chance, he's doing some amazing things with Can I Be Real podcast and Think Big. He is a guy, like I say, he went to college, came from a corporate background. He's also one of those guys that.
I
All
don't know
right, you
what my
back? You
bad,
back with
brother.
us?
Yeah,
All
my
right,
bad,
all
my
right.
bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. No, you good, you good. I have the same issue sometimes myself, but so I do want to go back to what you were saying about a lot of people say niche down,
Yes.
figure out your niche and stick with it. And now it does takes a little playing around. Okay,
Yep.
sometimes you want to play around here, play around, and try to figure out what your niche is. Do you
Yes.
have maybe some tips to kind of help people figure out exactly what their niche is?
I say, man, figure out what problem can you solve without having to read a book, without having to go to your notes, and something that you can talk about for like hours just off the top of your head. That's how you find your niche. Like, what can I talk about if I had to talk about this every single day? What's something that I love? What's one problem that I can solve that can help somebody else? And I think once you kind of figure that out, that's how you can narrow down like what's your niche, right? Like for me, 10 years ago, my niche was Deon, and my name Deon the Motivator, but it was Deon the Motivator instead of an I, and you know, after the T, it was EE because I was motivating people through T-shirts. I used to make shirts with like sayings on it: think big, believe in yourself, you know. So my niche audience was people that like to wear like graphic tees with motivational sayings on it. So that's how I would sell my stuff. Like, hey, you tired of wearing clothes like polo and they not investing back into you. When you buy this shirt, it's not only gonna look good, it's gonna feel good, but it's gonna motivate you and it's gonna motivate everybody around you because of what it says. So now I know exactly who I'm talking to, people who want to wear that shirt, right? So I say a tip for me that I would give people is like just know what problem you can solve easily, effortlessly, you know, just from the top of your head. It's like, all right, boom, I love to do this and I can help somebody else. And I can talk about this over and over and over and over and over. And I don't need no notes. And I ain't got to chat GPT, nothing. Like I done lived this. And I know somebody else out there that's living the same experience that can benefit from my experience. So I say that's how you really like find your niche, man. And once you find it, just keep narrowing it down. And you can add stuff because it's like just because I talk to say bald head because I'm bald men with that would like to wear hats, right? I can add an accessory to it. I can say, hey, you bald and you like to wear hats, but you also need a sweater to wear with it. Boom, you could just keep adding little pieces, but it's still talking to your niche audience because just like for you, right? If you go get your hair retwisted, who
Mhm.
you going to? Somebody that retweets. You're
Yeah,
not going to somebody that do finger waves. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
you heard niche or his niche. You know what I'm saying? You they target audience. So it's just like finding out who your target audience is, and then it's like a bullseye, just steady trying to hit that person every single time with all your miss. Now, some things you say, sometimes you do stuff we want to just have fun and we want to lay loose. Because I tell people too, you don't want to get boxed in, but you want to show all sides of yourself through that, because just because I talk to people on how to start a podcast, once they get locked in with me, they like, oh, it's more than just podcasting in here. Oh, he teaching me how to make some money with this podcast. Oh, he teaching me how to bring other people in with oh, he teaching me how to do this. So then that's when I start add the other little pieces. But the main course is the podcast, teaching people how to do podcasts, because that's what I do and that's what I'm good at.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I do want to ask you this question, man. Like in a situation where I want to compare you, you have your own brand. You got your Think Big brand, you got your Think Big clothing, Think Big hat. I'm gonna compare you to like a Nipsey Hussle, man. And Nipsey Hussle really believed in his community. If you had the chance or the opportunity to give back to your community, in what way would you do that? And what tools would you use to do that with?
Man, so I'm gonna be honest, man. One of my goals, bro, is to build a recreation center in my hometown for all the kids, man. And I want to build like a community center. I got it mapped out right. It's gonna be called the think tank. And
Mm.
it's gonna be a creative space where kids can come in and utilize all the new technology, learn about it. Anything that I'm doing, like the podcasting studios and t-shirt manufacturers, gymnasiums, all that. Cause like that's my goal, and I'm gonna be able to do that one day, man. Um, because for me, it's like, bro, I love where I come from. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be in Abbeville all the time. Like, man, it ain't nothing to do. And I came back to Dallas, and I was like, man, I wish this was down there, and I wish that was down there, and I wish this. And now it's like, how can I build something to actually go back and put that in my hometown now? And that's one of my biggest goals, and I'm going to accomplish it, man. I'm networking, I'm meeting people, I'm growing, I'm doing the necessary things to put that in place, man. But one day it's gonna happen, man. But I'm gonna need people like you, to get involved, and people in the community to get involved, who also believe that this thing will work and that we can do something like this, man. So for me, man, giving back is big. I used to run a youth program where I taught kids entrepreneurship. I did that for like 4 years, man. To where every Saturday I would meet these kids at a bank. It would be like 10 of them. Would be in the conference room, and I would just teach them entrepreneur skills, leadership skills. So that's my way of giving back. I like to help the youth, man. Like even now, like my son basketball team, like anything I can do to help them, I'm always jumping in, man, because I know the youth is that's they coming up behind us. That's the next generation. You know what I mean? They're gonna be the ones that gotta, hold the torch and carry it even further. So for me, it's like I want to pour into the youth as much as I can, man. And I know this community center, this think tank, it will be big not only for our community, but for us as a whole, as Black people, because I can show people like, hey, if I come from this small town and I can come back and do this for my town, you can do the same.
That's awesome, man. That is
Yeah,
awesome, man. You definitely one of the most amazing people that I have talked to, man, on my podcast, and
man, I
I've talked
appreciate it,
to,
bro.
man, a lot of amazing people on my podcast, man. I do want to ask you this question, man, about your legacy, man. I know you're working, you're building, and you're trying to um, build something up. What do you want to, when it's all said and done, you hang your podcasting shoes up? What do you want people to say about your legacy?
Man, I want people, for one, I want people to know me, because I'm gonna be honest, man. In another year, like I'll still be in the podcast business, but you won't see my face as much. You know what I mean? Like I'll be a lot more behind the scenes running the business. So I don't want to just be known for podcasting. For one, I want to be known as like that's somebody who whatever he wanted to do in what period of time of his life he did it, and he did it to the max, right? So for me, man, my legacy is for one, my kids, my family. Like I don't want to accomplish all my goals at the price of my relationship with my kids. So for me, man, it's like I want to build all this so my kids can enjoy it, but along the way, like bring them into this journey too, because I hear so many kids saying, you know, my daddy was always working, or my daddy was always gone. Yeah, he got money, or he did this, but he ain't never there for me. So for me, man, my legacy, I want to be known as a great father, man, a great husband. And my goal is to be back in Abbeville when I'm like 80 years old, 90 years old, man. I want to have about 40 acres. Me and my wife sitting on the back porch, and we just looking at all our kids, all our grandkids run around, play on our land, man, and we just sipping on sweet tea, enjoying life, man. That's my legacy, man. Like it ain't about money. It ain't about. It's about family for me, man. And I want my family to have something and be proud and say, man, that's my dad. That's my granddad. That's my great granddad. Like when it's all said and done, man, I want to be known as a great father, as a great husband, and as someone who like tried it all and did it to the highest level, man.
Man, that is amazing, man. Because I know a little bit of your history, man. You come from a great bloodline, man. I knew your
Man, I
grandfather,
appreciate
man. I
that.
knew your uncles, man. Come from a great bloodline, man. If a lot of
Appreciate
people
that,
don't
bro.
know that, man. I do want to ask you this question, man. But what would have been your biggest challenge while you was on this journey, trying to get into the think big and become Deon the Motivator and getting your podcast started? What was your biggest challenge?
Man, it was me. I was my biggest challenge, man. You know, we deal with a lot of self doubt sometimes when you done try stuff in the past and it don't work, and it's like that confidence that you got in yourself, it kind of slowly just goes down when stuff not working. So for me, it was like I had to build myself up as a man first, right? Because when I first started out, I just hit the ground running, and I was grinding, man, and it was all about the money. And I'm like, I'm making money, and I'm living the life that I want to live, and everybody around me happy. But it's like, man, I'm really not fulfilled, because now that you made the money, it's like now what? You know what I mean? So it's like for me, it's like, how can I get better as a man? And that's what I'm always trying to do. Charleston White, I asked him something on our interview, and if y'all haven't seen it, go back and watch that Charleston White interview. But I asked him a question. I said, man, how can we fix our community? He
Mm,
looked at me and said, fix you first.
mm,
He said, when you wake up in the morning, make up your bed. After you done
mm,
made up your bed, go in there and clean your restroom. After you done cleans your restroom, clean your kitchen. Then go talk to your wife. Then go talk to your kids. Make sure their room's clean. Make sure you're outside of your house clean. Go holler at your neighbor next door and see if they need something. After you done did that in your street, now you get your neighbors together and y'all have a block party. And after y'all done did that consistently, then you go out into the community. He say, but until you fix you first. And I realized, like, man, like I thought I was fixing me, you know what I mean? But I wasn't. I was just fixing stuff that I like symptoms of, man, I want this, so I just want it for the moment. But it's like I wasn't putting that real work into myself. So it wasn't until I really started putting that work into myself, man, meditating daily, reading my word, like spending time with myself, just really like driving with no music on, just me and my thoughts, man. And that's when I started to become a better man and a better person. So every day, that's what I'm trying to do. I ain't perfect, man. Like by no means, I'm not. I still mess up all the time. It's stuff that I say I'm gonna do that I don't do, that I'm like, dang, I should have did that. But every time I realize, like, every time you tell yourself you're gonna do something and you don't do it, it just lower your confidence in yourself, and it makes you not believe in yourself. And what that does is other people stop believing in you, because once you start lying to yourself, you start believing that lie, and other people see that. So for me, it's like I don't even want to lie to myself, because I know that's gonna just kill my confidence. So for me, I just be honest with myself. If I'm gonna say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to do it to the best of my ability. And then I'm just trying to grow and get better every day, man, to just build that confidence, keep building that confidence, because for me, confidence is key because if my confidence not there, I don't want to do nothing, man. It's like whatever. But when I'm feeling my best, it's like, man, I can go out here. I can do this. Oh, I can do that. I can do this because I done put that work in. It's like a muscle. You know what I'm saying? That brain
Yeah.
is like the more you feed the stronger it get. It's like the story of the two wolves. They say two wolves living inside of you, and the little boy asked grandfather, which one lives? And he said the one you feed the most. So that's like for me, it's like that. You feed the good wolf or you feed the bad wolf, but whichever one you feed, that's the one that's gonna grow the most. So for me, I'm trying to feed that good side of me, so that side can be stronger than that bad side of me, man.
Most definitely, man. That's a definitely a jewel right there, man. I appreciate you sharing that with me.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I, I want to ask you this question, man. So say for instance, there's a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid in Abbeville, Alabama, and they are watching this podcast and they say, hey man, Deon the Motivator might be a role model, man. He's from Abbeville. He made it big on podcasts. What kind of advice would you give to a young kid like that, man? It's a little different now than what we came up,
Yeah.
man. I don't even know if you know or not, man. The main factories are gone in Abbeville.
Yep.
Even just like in the local community, man. Like we used to talk about the Hubble Von stove, that isn't
Yep.
there anymore. I mean, just basic stuff. It's different situation, man. What advice would you give a little kid in Abbeville right now?
Man, I would say, man, because I still got family in Abbeville, you know what I mean? Cousins that's young, family members. So same thing I tell them, man, just follow your dreams, man. Like don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do, man, because I remember like people telling me like, why you moving to Dallas? Like you can do that down here. It's like people gonna always try to talk you out of your dreams and things that you want to do. Cause not that they hating, and that's what I had to get out of. Like people not hating on you. They just don't understand your dreams and your visions because they're yours. Like God gave it to you for a reason. And if he gave it to you, like it's on you to act on it and believe in it. So I would tell them just like know what you want to do, and if you don't know what you want to do, like start thinking about things you want to do, trying things. Like for me, right, it's like I may not can go to Mexico and live on the beach right now and sip pina coladas and just lay back with my head, right? But what I can do is I can take a weekend off, go downtown, enjoy a nice hotel, and that can get my fix. So for the people that like the kids down there, it's like you may not be able to just up and just go do something, but you can create that experience where you are. So like if you want to experience this, it may not be there in Abbeville at the time, but in your mind, you can go there. And if you can see it in your mind, you really will experience that because I feel like God give us visions and he give us like he give us them thoughts for a reason, man. And it's like if you think on it long enough, like you'll look up one day and be like, man, I remember I thought about this. And that's how I was like when I was in Abbeville. Like some people that know me, that like close to me, they'll tell you like I always was saying stuff like, man, one day I'm gonna go do this, and one day I'm gonna go do that, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna start this business, and I'm just talking, but in my heart I believe it, and I just did it. I just looked up one day and was like, dang, I was talking to such and such about this. Dang, I used to talk to my homeboy about this. Me and Dick Smooth, man, we
Yeah,
was super tight. Like
yeah,
he know all my like I used to sit there and just talk to him all night. Like we be riding in the car and it's like, Dicks, bro, one day I'm gonna have this and I'm gonna do this. And
yeah,
he like, nah, for real, D, you gonna get that. He used to
yeah,
call me D Nice. He's like, nah, D
yeah,
Nice, you gonna get that. And I'm like, bro, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And he like, nah, for real, you gonna do that, bro.
yeah,
And I just looked up one day and I did it. So I'm telling y'all, like, don't let what you see today affect where you could be tomorrow
yeah.
because every day is a different experience and you don't have to be in like these big cities like people try to portray for you to live a good life, man. And that's one thing I wish I would have learned. Like make the best of where you are, but make plans to always elevate and do better and don't let nobody stop you from what you
Mm,
want to do.
mm. Oh man, that's awesome, man. That is a jewel right there, man. I sure appreciate you saying that, man. I do want to ask you this for my own intuition, man. When you got started podcasting, man, and you got into what you're doing, man, I know you had a partner.
Yes, sir.
How important was that partner for you? Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my story.
Yeah.
I started out with a partner. Me and him going back and forth with this idea of getting
Mm-hmm.
this podcasting thing going, blah blah blah. And I began to get all the connections, start investing, da da da. And so one day he just decided to drop out.
Mm.
And so I'm like, man, what do I do now? And just of my character, people were calling me, hey, you got this date set up, da da da. You know, so I'm like, hey, I got to go ahead and follow through with this. That's just part of my character.
Yep.
Now I don't know where my podcast would be at if he had been still with me. So I do want to ask you that question, man. When you're starting something like this, how much does that help to have a partner you're working with or a couple of people you're working with? And what if your partner had a dropped out on you? What would you have done?
Man, first of all, I think like for me, having a partner is like big because I tried to do like content creation by myself, like long form. It wasn't like podcast, but it was like interviews and well, it was kind of like a podcast, but I tried it by myself and I realized like it's a lot it's a lot that goes into it. So when Mozzie brought it to me, I know how Mozzie worked. He worked like crazy and it's like I knew that if he said he gonna do something, he gonna do it because I seen what he did before. So for me, man, I think having a partner is pivotal, but you got to have somebody that like believe like you believe, think like you think, and gonna put just as much work as you put in, man. And that's what we've been doing. Like we both believe in this 100%. We both grind for this. We work hard for this. Like it's 50-50 for real. Like we real business, but we was like we real partners in real life. Like we real life, like that's my brother. You know what I mean? Like I knew him 6 years before, no, 5 years before we even did the podcast. So it's like we were really locked in as friends and like brothers. We had a brotherhood before, so it was easy for us to join forces and start this podcast. But for me, bro, I say it's pivotal because now, like when you talk about spending money and buying equipment. Now you don't have to carry the whole budget by yourself. It's like, hey man, we gotta split this in half. So now it just make it a whole lot easier, man. Two heads is always better than one. You got two people coming with two different ideas, and you can bounce your ideas off of each other. So I say having a partner is pivotal, but is it necessary? Maybe not. But it's pivotal though. It is pivotal to have a partner though. But is it necessary? Nah. And if my partner would have dropped out on me, knowing what I know now, I probably would have still kept going because I put so much into it that it's like I can't turn back. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. So
No
yeah, but
doubt.
I just thank God I got somebody that's locked in with me that, we both like on the same page with this. And we told ourselves, like, bro, we're gonna get this 5 years. And if it don't work in 5 years, then we'll let it go. But hey, we said we gave it 5 years, and we on year 4 now.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Man, that's great, man. So, man, I really appreciate you coming to the show, man, and you dropped some
appreciate you
valuable
having me.
jewels on me, man, and I really do, man, and I really appreciate it, man. Hopefully, sometime probably later on, man, I have you back on the show.
Yeah, man. Anytime you need me, man, I'm here, bro. Like I
Appreciate it.
appreciate you for bringing me on, man. Anytime somebody bring me on their platform, like I'm super grateful because I know like the power of cross promotion and joining other people's audience. So like the people that listen to you and come here every day, like I know they trust you. So for you to bring me on, man, I appreciate you. And I don't take it lightly, bro. For real.
Man, no problem, man. I sure appreciate you, man. But I do want everybody to like and subscribe to the What If Show, man. I'm streaming on all formats. Thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe.